In the 12 months that I've been studying and working within the marketing industry, particularly for chiropractors, what I've learned is that the idea of branding is very complex and confusing. And you would think it's just colors, logos, things like that. That's what I thought anyway. But it's a lot more complex and there's a lot more to it, which makes it overwhelming and easy to not want to do. So in this video, I'm just going to break down what branding is, particularly how clinic branding versus personal branding works, so that you can get a bit clearer on what your brand is and you can start posting about it. So my name's Angus, I'm a chiro. Last 12 months I've been focusing on marketing for chiropractors because the perception of chiropractic around the world isn't that good. And I believe if I can help chiros understand marketing and advertising, they will have better practices, have more confidence to go out on their own, and the perception will change of who we are as well. Because I know people like us when they meet us. It's just the part before they meet us that's the problem. So I got this from a 15-second video from Mr. Hormozy, the guy that knows everything about freaking business, that branding is literally the center of it is the problem that you solve and who you solve it for. That's it. That is literally the complexity of the whole thing. All of this stuff around the outside is pretty much what keeps you interesting, gives you other angles to go into, and helps people break the ice when they want to start a conversation with you. So what I mean by that, if we start in the middle, and this is the part where most people are failing right now, is they don't know what the problem is that they solve or who they solve it for. They just try and be broad. So they end up with this sort of crap and no one really knows what they do. So to give you an example of what I do, I help ambitious chiropractors get the skills that they need in marketing so that they can go out and launch their own successful clinics. So the who is the associates who are ambitious. That's who I'm aiming for. So I could say that I want to focus on sports chiros or wellness chiros or whatever. I've just chosen ambitious because it's already a bit of a niche. The problem is they don't know how to market themselves and there's something stopping them from opening their own practice. So I want to help them solve that. Your thing could be young mums who have no energy and you want to help them regain their energy back. So obviously the who, young mums, the problem, they've got no energy. Now that's one problem. Around that problem, there's all these different areas of life that they could be struggling in. So it could be sleep, it could be nutrition, exercise, like there's all these things. And that's where branding helps you get more interesting, essentially, and help solve more problems for them. So people are scared to niche down, but you're not actually niching down because when you've got these other parts of your personality, you're giving people bits to attach to. I haven't even used this yet. So what we've got. So personally in my life, if you've been following me, you'll notice there's all these parts. So I have friends, chiro obviously, I run, I am big on ownership. I think everyone should have their own practice. I'm married. I focus on associates a lot as well, just trying to call them out. There's functional gym. So I don't just go to like a normal commercial gym. I make sure it's like, hey, I actually enjoy this kind of training instead. Being authentic, I've got a dog. I used to play soccer, big on delegating things in the right way. Love reading, making sure you're posting content, my family, and then back to surfing again. So those are sort of all the parts of me, okay? Now someone can come in they can be a chiro, they can have this problem, and then they can go, oh, I surf and I have a dog. They've just got a couple of little things that they can attach to with me. So the amount of times people will message me about something super random and then use that as the in to start talking about their problem to see if I can help. That's what personal branding, that's the strength of personal branding because you've got all these things. Because if you think of a clinic now, you don't really have these parts. So you might talk about health, the tools that you have, upcoming webinars, like it gets pretty bland, pretty boring. And really any company that you can think of, there's only a few that do it well. So you can think of someone like Red Bull, who they have, F1, they have motorbikes, they jump out of planes. Like they've gone and got all these elements of their personality. Someone can attach to the one thing and that'll pull them back into the main problem that they solve. So it's a lot easier to do it as a personal brand because you've got these parts of your personality anyway. And that's why I'd always push, have a personal brand. A clinic brand is just like proof that you're a real thing. A personal brand is like who you are. That being said, if someone attaches to these two things, someone else might attach to something else, Oh, so we went to Fiji for your honeymoon. Awesome. I'm thinking about going there. Cool. Hey, help me with this. All right, so they can come in from completely different angles. What you can't do though, and you can imagine how this is going to fail, is if I didn't know what my problem was, so I just started talking about the elements of my personality, so I stayed broad, and I just focused on surfing for a month, everyone who's got nothing to do with surfing is going to drop off because they're like, that's not who I am or the problem that I need help with. I might pick up a couple of other people from other areas, like they might have a dog and a wife and be married and think that that's important, but I've completely missed who and what the problem is that I solve for them. So when you're posting, you've got to start with who, like who it is and what the problem is that you solve for them. We have a core equation is what I call it. It just helps you, it's in our skill group. It'll help you just work out who it is and what the problem is. Once you've got that, then you can think of all these parts of your own life and how they relate to the problem and what you've overcome and what you've noticed so that people can attach themselves to any of these things to start a conversation. All you're doing is trying to be relatable, and you can be more relatable when you've got personality compared to just being, okay, this is the problem and this is who it's for. Super boring. That's why clinic pages suck so much. So once you get clear on that problem, the actual posting and learning how to attract patients gets a lot easier because you become more interesting. Essentially, that's why people want to reach out and talk to you. So don't be afraid to post these things. It's worth sitting down and writing out where all these parts of your life are, because then you can just think throughout the month, I don't know if there's 10 things there, I might post twice about all of those things. That way, I'm not constantly trying to think up ideas, and people can just sort of see and get an idea of who my character is before they even talk to me. Now, what you'll notice, you might not be able to see with the darkness, is these are colored in different things. So the 3 areas of your life, boiled down as simply as you can have them, is wealth, health, and relationships. So if you start with those 3 topics, write out the bits that you have in all of those. So let's start with health, functional gym, running, surfing, soccer. You just list those down, do the same for the next one, do the same for the next one, do a bit of a keep, kill, combine, see what stays, what gets merged, get rid of some stuff that's not that important to you. Then just work out ways to sprinkle those in to your posting over time. And you'll just see that coming up with ideas isn't such a slog anymore. You don't come across like some guru who thinks he knows everything about that problem, because you're actually interesting. That's the whole point. That's how personal brands work. People want to get to know you as much as they want to get to know the problem that you solve. So if you're a chiro, you want to jump in that skill group, you can do your core equation. That'll help you with the middle. If you want to find out what your parts are, literally health, wealth, relationships, list them all out, keep, kill, combine, see what all your elements are that make you a person, then work out how you can relate those to the problem that you solve and who it's for. Simple as that. That's how branding works.